everyone. Welcome to week 3 of our Mindset and Movement series. And today is about permission to begin again. My name is Mary Beth Rim, and welcome. In week 3, we explore the powerful and often overlooked truth. You are allowed to begin again. And this episode is an invitation to release the shame, abandon the need for a perfect starting point, and reconnect with yourself through grace. We'll examine the stories we tell ourselves when we stop, the guilt that we carry for not being consistent, and the freedom that comes with when we choose to begin again and again with compassion. Whether you're returning to the movement after a long pause, navigating grief or injury, or simply trying to make peace with your body, this week is about trusting that your next step doesn't need permission from anyone but your own heart. So the goal of the week 3 is to shift the internal narrative from guilt and shoulds to grace and willingness, to deepen your capacity for self-compassion, to reconnect to movement as a relationship, one that welcomes return, not perfection. So again, welcome back to the Soul Talk podcast. I'm Mary Beth Rim. I am really, really excited and glad that you're here. So again, we're in week 3 of our Mindset in Movement series. And this one is pretty much dear to my heart. It seems like I'm constantly always starting over again. And today's episode, again, is titled Permission to Begin Again. Because let's be honest, life pulls us away sometimes, pulls us from our routines, from our breath, from our bodies, from ourselves. I know it has to me in the past couple of months when I've had a knee injury and also a foot and heel injury. And that's been really tough. And figuring out when to start again and wanting to start again and giving myself permission to do that and permission to take a step back. So, and when we come back, if we come back, it can feel like we need to apologize or explain or punish ourselves for the time away. But what if we didn't? What it means to begin again, beginning again is not a failure. It is not a weakness. It is not a flaw in your discipline or your worth. It is a return, a renewal, a conscious act of self-love. Beginning again means you're listening. It means you're brave enough to show up, even after stopping. It means you believe in growth more than perfection. You don't need a Monday. You don't need to feel motivated or somebody to motivate you. And you don't need to punish yourself to start. You just need to breathe. One breath to say, I am here now. And that's enough. Because you are enough. And it's okay to take a step back, and it's okay to start again. So again, rewriting that narrative, the shoulds that we carry, Let's talk about the inner dialogue that shows up when we start moving. And some of it might be you always quit, you're just not committed enough, you've already lost everything that you've built, like your fitness, which is not true. You should be further along. Does all that sound familiar? I know it does to me, or it did in the past. Again, we internalize this story or these stories that we must always be doing. We must always be producing and progressing to be worthy. But movement isn't about proving your worth. It's about connecting to it. The body doesn't hold grudges. It remembers your return, not your absence. It also responds with grace, not shame. It wants you to move with you, not against you. So the next time your mind says, you should have done more, let your heart whisper, I'm proud of you. I'm proud that I showed up today. Let's take a moment just to reflect on this. Let's pause right here for a second. Take a breath with me. Inhale softly. Hold it for just a second. And exhale. Now, ask yourself gently, where am I holding on to guilt for stopping? What part of me is ready to start again if only I gave it permission? You can't shame yourself into healing, but you can love yourself back into alignment. And that's something that I see a lot with people is that they shame themselves into healing, that I should be further along, that, I used to be able to just bounce right back. I mean, I've said that myself. But sometimes the body speaks to you and it says, not yet, not yet. Give it time. So a simple practice that I do and that I always suggest to people for returning. So let's take a short breath mantra. You can do this while walking, you're stretching, or even sitting still. So inhale, I believe again, and exhale with grace. And inhale, I return to myself. And exhale with love. And you can repeat this cycle 3 or 4 times until it like really sticks into your heart. So feel how even 1 minute of intentional breath can reconnect you. That's what beginning again looks like. Small, secret, enough. And if you get out a journal and do some reflection in your journal, here are 2 prompts to explore this week. So ask yourself, write this down. What do I believe about myself when I stop? And let whatever comes to mind not force it or change it into what you think that it should be. What comes to mind first? Because you want to notice the tone of that story. Is it kind? Is it harsh? And if it is, how can I reframe that story to honor the courage that it takes to begin again? What if every pause was just a pause and not a verdict? And I see this a lot with athletes. It's that, starting again after an injury, they beat themselves up for not being out there. But sometimes your body and your mind and your spirit need that. So again, write it, feel it, speak it into your being. Again, there've been so many seasons where I had to start over again. After injury, after grief, especially after burnout. Sometimes I started with a walk around the block. Sometimes I just laid on the mat and breathed. Each time, I came back with more humility, more reverence, and more self-trust. So if today is your beginning again, let it be messy. That's okay. Let it be slow, but let it be yours. But the key is don't beat yourself up. That's the key. The key is to be kind to yourself. Give yourself grace and compassion. So write down if you write, i- i- if the thoughts are harsh, how can you reframe that? How can you change that? So if this episode resonated with you, I invite you to join me beyond this space. I invite you to subscribe to my YouTube channel for weekly meditations, movement practices, and more tools for mind, body, spirit healing. Simply search Mary Beth Rim on YouTube. We're in this together, and I'd be honored to support your return. Let this be your reminder. You are not behind. You are not broken. And you are not starting from scratch. You are starting from experience, from wisdom, from willingness. And that is everything. Move with kindness this week. Rest when needed. And always, always give yourself permission to begin again. I'm Mary Beth Rim. Until next time.